What is happening, everybody? Greg Ehrenberg here from OddsShopper, and I'm about to bring us into the weekend with my favorite bets of the day from the tools that we have at OddsShopper. And if you guys have not checked out the data that we have on our site yet, there's a 1-week free trial available that you get access to by clicking on the link below. And that is going to cover 7 days. No risk to you. If you guys like it, you can stick around. If not, you can leave. But I do think you're going to like it. And this is a tool that is paid for itself over the course of the year. So if you are somebody who has been betting $100 on every single plus EV bet that we've had in OddsShopper since the start of the year, you would be up about $60,000 for the year. So it's been a really profitable tool. I use it to help me with my process. Now let's get the data on the screen. And if you guys could help me out, just like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now, not a whole lot that's standing out as far as great NBA bets for this morning. One thing I do want to highlight is that Andrew Wiggins is dealing with cracked ribs, apparently. It's being called a cartilage issue in his ribs. And I think that in itself is enough reason to like the under as an added benefit here. We do have the under projected pretty well. Under 25.5 is the best available number here at Tipico. So if you guys have access to the under 25.5, I think that's a pretty good look with Andrew Wiggins when you consider that he seems to be pretty banged up. All the reports indicate that, well, number one, he might not even play today. Considering the stakes of the game, I think he's going to do everything he can to be on the court, but I doubt he's going to be 100%. So give me unders on Andrew Wiggins. That makes some sense. And then one other bet here that makes sense to me, Bam Adebayo over 2.5 assists. The best available number is minus 122 at Bet Rivers, also minus 122 at Unibet. I wouldn't bet any of these like minus 140 numbers on Bam Adebayo, though it does go to show how much value there is in minus 122 when other books are offering minus 140 to minus 150. Bam's one of the better passing centers that we have in the NBA. He averaged about 3.5 assists per game in the regular season. So over 2.5 for Bam, I could certainly get behind that. But like I said, not a whole lot that stands out for NBA. So let's move over to MLB. And yeah, MLB, there's going to be a lot to look at. We've got every single team playing today. So baseball, big slate tonight. And yeah, you're going to see right here, we've got a ton of bets that are projected to be plus EV for the baseball slate tonight. And yeah, going to talk once again about an under for Corbin Burnes. Under 6.5 strikeouts is available minus 102 on FanDuel. Every other book has it minus 115 or wider. Most of them having like the minus 120 to minus 130 range. Corbin Burnes is great. He's responsible for one of the biggest betting wins that I've ever had. But with that said, Corbin Burnes has definitely seen a little bit of a drop-off this year compared to when he won the Cy Young a couple of years ago, in particular with the strikeouts. So overall numbers for him, he has a 3.86 ERA. He's a 3.73 expected ERA. The big flag, which matters the most for the purposes of this bet, his strikeout rate this year is only 19.8%. Last year, it was 30.5%. The year before when he won the Cy Young, it was 35.6%. Pretty big red flag when it comes to Corbin Burnes there and the lack of strikeouts. So I do like him for under 6.5. He's just not had very many big strikeout starts this year. Actually, looking at his game log, he has only had 1 out of 7 starts where he's had more than 5 strikeouts. So under 6.5 strikeouts for Corbin Burnes. Definitely think that makes some sense. Something not quite right with him. Maybe he's tipping his pitches. Maybe he's dealing with an injury to start the year. Something is amiss. Looking through some of the other bets that are projecting well for us, we got Jurickson Profar here, over 1.5 total bases at plus 160 at Bet365. And you see most other books have this around plus 150 to plus 120 in some spots. So yeah, Profar over 1.5 total bases. That's one that makes sense. Got another one here on Freddie Freeman for over 1.5 total bases. Kyle Bradish taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates for over 4.5 strikeouts. So Kyle Bradish a couple of years ago was one of the top pitching prospects in all of baseball. And, you know, he hasn't necessarily reached the heights that maybe his acumen as a prospect suggested he might, but he is somebody we've seen capable of generating strikeouts. He averages about 9 strikeouts per 9 innings for his career. So strikes out, you know, around a hitter per inning. And if you look at some of his starts this year, it's been hit or miss. There have been some starts where he's been really limited, so I wouldn't put too much stock into that. He's also had a really difficult strength of schedule on the road against the Rangers. He's only made 1 home start this year, and this is only going to be his 2nd home start of the season. But so far, he's had to pitch on the road in Texas. He's had to pitch on the road in Atlanta. He's had to face the Boston Red Sox. But over 4.5 strikeouts for Kyle Bradish is definitely something that I could get behind just looking at some of his career strikeout numbers. And he projects fairly decent this year as a guy who's going to have like a low to mid 4s type ERA, which is an accomplishment for sure in the American League East. And then always the strikeout stuff is typically decent for him in like the mid to low 20% range. So over 4.5 strikeouts for Kyle Bradish against Pittsburgh Pirates team that don't totally buy into. I think that's worth looking at. JP France. Also bet JP France over on his strikeout prop in his last outing. So young pitcher for the Houston Astros, also a well-regarded pitching prospect, and somebody who I also think is just getting a little bit overlooked by the books. His last start, pitched 5 innings, had 5 strikeouts. His line was 4.5, was plus money in that spot. Another spot here, over-unders 4.5, and it's plus money on the over. In the minor leagues, we saw JP France this year with a 33.8% strikeout rate. He projects as a guy who should generate strikeouts at the big league level. 4.5, a little bit too low, especially when it's plus money. We have this winning 52% of the time, and you're getting plus money on JP France. Give me the over there. A lot of total base props that we have popping up here. Dustin May under 5.5 strikeouts. He is somebody who he looks like he should be striking everybody out, but he just doesn't really generate swing and misses. His stuff is so good, but he's never quite been able to harness it. So I don't mind under 5.5 strikeouts, especially in a tough matchup against the Padres. Well, let's see. Let's go and build a parlay for PrizePicks. And if you guys haven't signed up at PrizePicks yet, we do have a $100 bonus offer available to you. You just have to sign up using the promo code GregOS. Let's see, today. All right, yeah, these are all props for today. We've got Draymond Green over 23.5 PRA. Makes sense, especially if you consider there's a possibility that Andrew Wiggins either doesn't play or is limited. Overs on Draymond are going to make some sense. We got Oki from the Angels for over 0.5 total bases. Just need one hit from him. Kevin Love over 15.5 PRA. LeBron James over 5.5 assists. Bam Adebayo over 17.5 points. And then Spencer Strider, difficult matchup for him on the road against the Toronto Blue Jays for under 8.5 strikeouts. This 6-leg flex parlay on PrizePicks is good for a 12% expected ROI. Now let's build one for FanDuel. Let's see what we could get. Yeah, a lot of props that we already talked about, and the only one that we didn't talk about that's in here is Matthew Tkachuk to not score a goal. Oh, and I guess we didn't talk about Kevin Love over 7.5 points either, but this is a 5-leg parlay for FanDuel, and it is going to give you 18-1 odds and good for a 25% expected ROI. So Tkachuk to not score a goal. Bradish, once again, over 4.5 strikeouts. Kevin Love over 7.5 points. The Corbin Burns under strikeouts. JP France over 4.5 strikeouts. That is a plus EV projected parlay for FanDuel. So we ran through baseball. We ran through basketball. Really not too much basketball to look at. There are a ton of well-projected baseball props over at OddsShopper, and there's going to be more added throughout the day as we get some starting lineups and other information in. So if you guys want to check this out, like I said, we have a 7-day free trial available below in the description box. Also, if you have any questions, comments for myself, or just want additional bets, download Chalkboard. There's a link for that below. It is totally free to download Chalkboard. It's free to get into our channel. And in there, you're going to be getting extra access to myself and Lofty, who's also on the YouTube channel. We post bets, answer questions, and sweat out the bets for you. It's a good time. Check it out, and it is totally free. So thank you, everybody, for sticking around to the end and watching the video. If you didn't do it, the easiest way to support us, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Have a great day. Let's win all our bets. See you guys Monday. Yeah, Monday. I'm not gonna have any NBA video tomorrow. I usually do PrizePicks on Saturday, but no NBA games on the schedule, so that will not be an option. So hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll be back here Monday. Later.